With dire conditions predicted across multiple fire zones, authorities are preparing for the worst. And New South Wales Rural Fire Service Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons joins me now. Commissioner, before we get on to the messages for today, the warnings, the forecast, let's touch on the farewell that was held today for Jeffrey Keaton, the firefighter who died 2 weeks ago. You pinned a medal to his little boy Harvey's shirt today. The picture is just so emotionally distressing. What was it like for you? It must have been incredibly difficult.
It's a tough day. It's a heartbreaking day, but it's a very special day. We owe it to Jeff. We owe it to Harvey. We owe it to all the family. His fiancée Jess, his mum and dad Wes and Di, his brother Phil and wife Rachel. We owe it to the entire family and that little boy to make sure he knows growing up that his dad lost his life as an absolute hero, sacrificing himself for the safety and protection of the community and for the want of nothing in return other than to make a difference. He was a volunteer and he paid the ultimate price so tragically along with his best mate, and we owe it to all of them to honour and respect that. And today we paid tribute and it was a tough day. It was a heartbreaking day, but it was a very special day. How
does it affect you? You've got to hold it together, you've got fires to fight, but does it, focus you? Does it drive you even more?
My heart breaks like everybody else. It's tough. It's really tough. And to stand there and pay tribute and honour such a lovely young man, knowing that he leaves behind a beautiful, precious family. If that doesn't affect you, then you're not human. And at the end of the day, I'm human like everybody else.
And there are thousands of more firefighters, men and women out there who will be there tomorrow, the next day, risking their own lives. What lies ahead for them? What are you expecting over the next few days?
We've got some really dangerous conditions coming up again on Saturday in New South Wales, particularly the southeastern quadrant of the state, but not exclusively. We're going to have widespread, severe and extreme fire dangers, which is why we're putting out some messages. We saw the extraordinary fire behaviour on New Year's Eve, fire behaviour that exceeded predictions and forecasts, and unfortunately the weather conditions for Saturday are going to be worse than what we experienced on New Year's Day. Worse. So not only are they going to be worse, but we've now got so many large fires and smaller fires with multiple fire fronts, fingers of fire going down through valley systems into different communities, and it's stretching effectively from the Tumbarumba Batlow area right across the high country and right out to the southeast corner along the coast strip of New South Wales. So we've given them some pretty clear messaging that it is dangerous, that the risk is real. We've already seen the deadly consequences of these fires burning through the south coast on New Year's Day, with 6 lives already confirmed having been taken by these fires, and another serious concern for somebody still unaccounted for. We've seen a very positive, a very decisive and a very cooperative community. We're seeing the roads locked up and moving. Unfortunately, we've seen fire impact the Princes Highway around Sussex Inlet, I should say, again this afternoon. Crews are really working on that, working with the authorities to try and get that clear passage as soon as we can. It is a safety hazard at the moment, but once we've got that, we'll get that open and get people moving. So we're very appreciative of the patience, we're very appreciative of the tolerance, and we are doing all we can to help people move. We've still got 24 hours, so it's not until Saturday that we're particularly concerned, but in the intervening period, people need to exercise patience. They need to get their way out of these areas if they don't need to be there. And firefighters, of course, with the emergency services, are still trying to deal with the enormity of the fire fronts, consolidate, establish containment, create protection, backburning and other consolidation work between properties and these main fire fronts, because we know Saturday is going to be an awful day.
What about people, we've heard today from people who flat out won't go? If you tried to force them, they would not go. What would you say to them?
Our focus is doing the greater good for the greatest number of people. If there are people that absolutely won't do it, then I'm really not in a position to occupy all the time with the emergency service and the police authorities to move people that are just unwilling to help themselves. Our focus is in trying to help people that are willing to be helped, and particularly we've got vulnerable communities, we've got elderly communities, young people, families. Our job is to try and do the greatest good for the greatest number of people, which is why we're being very open with this messaging, very concerned about the very real risk, and we're already seeing overwhelmingly a very positive, a very responsive and decisive community that are heeding the warnings and they're making the moves. The frustration right now is the road network isn't supporting the number of people that are moving, and we just need to exercise some patience again this afternoon and this evening and tonight. And if we can't get everyone out tonight, then we've still got tomorrow to go. So that is our focus.
All right, thank you very much, Rural Fire Service Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons. Thank you.